pop up. You can see the little eyeball thing, little symbology.
Nice.
Oh, okay. All right.
Look at that.
So the colors are a little bit better. Everything is still contractor cream.
It's okay. It's very appropriate for the vibe. It's a bathroom behind us, isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
There were certain things I chose not to go that way.
I've got to fix everything.
So there's a couple of rough spots in this. I didn't do the same editing job that I did with the other one that I showed you before. We don't have all sunsets and happiness and that kind of stuff. But
you got the mix master there. All right.
Well, making a cake.
Hey, you've got to have a little bit of everything here. The whirlpool or the hot tub is lit, and it does have a radio in it. So we can put our music in there and relax.
Sweet.
I now feel forever inadequate at making maps. Thank you, Eric.
Now Jay, is the bungalow visible from that back porch?
If he had rendered it, it would be, yes.
Okay. All right.
I need a little more information. That's the storage room, by the way. And then we can come in here and we come back around.
I will say that Eric made a couple of adjustments that made sense in the space-time continuum. We put stairs where they actually should exist.
Good man, Eric. Well done.
It's a professional habit.
There should be stairs here. I'm putting stairs here.
So here you go. There's the stairs.
Oh, look at that.
That's how it's supposed to work.
You even bounce when you walk up the stairs. That's great.
We're very excited when we bounce up the steps.
Clearly.
The end of that hall is where the bathroom is.
Right.
So, yeah, that wall actually glows.
In a very creepy way. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's really kind of what I was going for. It's a little bit of that for everybody. Just whoever's in the room gets a little bit of that.
Faraday cage should be.
Yeah, there's a Faraday cage in there.
I didn't render that. It would have taken a lot of. There's a lot of triangles to make that work. So I think I didn't. Did I go up? No, I went up the spiral steps on this one, which is sort of a pain in the neck. Oh yeah, the porch.
It's dark.
The screen. Well, it's dark outside. The screen is there though.
That is so cool.
Wow.
We put little monsters lurking in the background.
Yeah, screaming souls, all of that.
Oh, speaking of which, Eric, I did take the video, and I'm putting audio to it.
Please trim it down, cut out the awkward bits, whatever it is you need to do.
Sure. Well, I added music and cicadas and.
Awesome.
I'm treating it like an audio practice.
Cool.
I love this. This is that screams MTV '90s right there.
Right. This is
just really needs primary colors in the wall and like grunge
we can fix
posters.
That. We can take care of that totally.
So the dance hall actually entertaining room actually has a good view. There's a little porch out there, the little gaming / workroom back there. And then we time jump, because that happens sometimes.
It does.
It's what's needed.
We get over here.
I will say that this render of the basement is creepy as fuck. It is.
Woo! Right, so let me.
If you were going for Munster's architecture, that you hit it. You have a niche market.
Nailed it.
Hey, let me jump ahead a little. Get in there. Go on. Get to the hole in the floor. Yep.
Get in the hole.
It's scary. Ah.
And then the mysterious, we just suddenly wind up in the basement.
Whoa! Extra dimensional space, dude.
Ooh.
You feel weird.
So yeah, you can go up the graded thing, or you can go to this little work office here.
Oh, there's zombies going to be dying in this room. Yeah. There's going to be blood splatter. There's going to be gunfire, screaming, blood. Yeah.
Down the steps, and you can see there's certain stains on the floor.
The mystery van, the
Next
mystery
to the
mobile.
pallets, there's a little work area back there.
Wow.
The camera was on, so that was it.
Dude, that's phenomenal.
That's outstanding. Holy
That is
crap.
amazing.
So
Wow.
yeah, I may or may not get way into these things.
I'm going to say, that OCD is working for you, man. That's amazing.
Distance doesn't work quite right.
Let me go back and fix it.
Okay. So, it's been a month. Can you believe it?
No.
Wow.
Nice.
Lots of stuff going on in Discord, and there's a lot of data. So I figured before we get into this today, bring everybody up to speed on what's been happening in your character's life up to this point, and make sure that everybody's on the same page. So let's start with Marcane, because you had two major actions.
Got settled into the bungalow. That was lovely. Help me, Jay. What were the two major actions?
Getting settled into the bungalow,
Yes,
and
very
then being
important.
approached by
Lindsay. No?
Lindsay, and May joined you,
Yes.
and then
yes.
some decision was made, and then fast forward to a basement.
Right. So Lindsay got a bead on Nell and Aboye, pointing off towards a village, or what looked like a village on the other side of the fence for the Crackerbox Palace. And she was hell bent to follow that lead, follow that feeling, and pursue it. And it's like, but there's vampires out there. Let's not do that without backup, shall we? And May came down, and it's like, the three of us could do it, but let's get the boys with guns to come with us just in case. So we opted to go back and collect the rest of the gang, the Scooby Gang, before we go and check out the spooky village that time forgot.
And I will say for Lindsay, who is not here, she felt a presence and took a walkabout around the property. She was drawn to the perimeter and made a circle. Ended up hooking up with Marcane. She started referencing a cat for some reason, and during the course of the conversation between Marcane and May and Lindsay started to kind of fade out. She's kind of not all there, kind of foggy. So I did a sidebar with Tracy this afternoon to kind of work this in. So she is going back to the house to meditate. She's going to use her power to reach out beyond the veil to see if she can find Nell or someone else, a Boye maybe, but she's feeling multiple presences around that are directly related to spirits. So there are a lot of ghosts around, she reports to you guys. So, Shelby, I'll turn it over to May.
May. I apologize. I've been kind of chaotic. May has started reaching out to her contact for some of the, I'm blanking on what it's called, the wizard books with spells in it. Grimoire. That's what
There
it
you
is.
go.
Thank
That's the
you.
word.
Sounds like. But started reaching out to see if she can find some more spells that she thinks will assist with us later on, but nothing yet.
So you joined them outside and kind of shared your information with them. I guess Lindsay's condition, her mood shift, drew you all back into the house, which perfectly gets us into the second half of what Marcane did. But before we go down to the basement, Jake, you were on the hunt for a Faraday cage most of this time. The DIY sub-episode that went on the web.
So the thing about it is, chicken wire is a really inexpensive and spaced just appropriately right metal thing that will make a Faraday cage. So on the cheap, you can literally nail chicken wire to the inside of our bedroom, floors, walls, ceiling, and no signals go in and out. So between that and hanging a blanket over the old glass thing, because I don't like big creepy glass, so we'll stick a blanket over that. We now have an ability to go someplace where signal, if we're trying to be tracked or you don't want your phone to be found or something like that, we can go into that room and be disruptive. I've also taken the liberty of wrapping my phone in foil and dropping it in a Ziploc bag and sealing it shut. That way, if I go on the drink, I don't have to deal with rice.
Always planning ahead, our Jake.
Important safety tip. Thanks, Egon.
Tell them about the Twinkie, right? So, the other thing that I wanted to get in on there was, I know that we have a certain amount of tactical gear, let's call that that for now. But I put out a request to gather up some non-binary explosive, because when it's made in two separate parts that don't do anything by themselves, it's unregulated. But when you put them together in just the right way, they make something that goes boom.
You know, I
Charming.
had a class from the Department of Homeland Security about people like you.
Yeah, and it's remarkably accessible, which is part of what makes me worry about these clowns from Clownin' On, because a lot of that in this context, I absolutely see them doing these sorts of silly things.
They haven't so far.
Not
So what
yet.
you're saying is that, Jake, you align your thoughts with Clownin' On. You guys think alike.
No, this is a know your enemy kind of a thing, and figure out a defense.
Very fine line, Jake. Very
Of course.
fine line.
We're less criminal minds, more art of war.
Right.
There you
Yes.
go.
That's what we tell ourselves.
But then the art of war would suggest that someone from the enemy camp infiltrate in order to... not that I'm speculating.
It's got to be Jake.
It's got to be Jake.
I look great in eye makeup.
He's a juggalo! Get him!
He's a mime.
right.
He's a
So-
mime. Oh my God.
So part of this...
A Zoom call with a mime.
So part of your you're putting together the Faraday cage put you in the basement. Oh my God.
The fact
Oh.
that he now lives inside an invisible box is also does not help.
Oh wow.
Anyway.
Sorry, taking a brief
the
vacation.
Faraday- Faraday cage is up. And Marcane said, no, I'm not going to order you Tannerite because I don't want to appear on any more NSA watch lists. Thank you very much. So we asked Jarvis to order it for us.
Mm-hmm.
And Jarvis said he'll get right on that.
Yep. But as Marcane realized, there is a supply chain nightmare going on. So
COVID.
a lot of things are going to be regulated and delayed. So don't expect FedEx delivery the next day. In fact, everything that is going to be delivered will be delivered in West Virginia and couriered from West Virginia to you. The same way you got to where you are now. So
long as we
RG
don't-
is going to have to go pick it up at a Amazon depot in Hiex, West Virginia.
Thanks,
Whenever it
RG.
Damn it,
You're a
Amazon,
prince.
you have delivery drones, but can't do transdimensional portals yet.
Yet.
Yet. So, Eric, you went into the base. Jake went into the basement with Marcane and Jimmy, right, to finish
yeah.
the work.
Well, Yeah, I mean that's we're rummaging for parts and pieces and whatever's in the workshop, and because there is a space right behind where the van is parked.
Perfect. Okay.
It was designated as a workshop area, so
Yep. Okay. When you're down there, and you find the supply areas are very well distributed. So your auto parts are in this room. Any hardware is in another room. Some things seem to be missing, and you notice there are post-it notes in the other offices from Duke to RG, basically just bitching at him for misplacing tools.
This goes in the other drawer, you idiot.
If you're going to use the weed whacker, put it back in the shit shed, which is what he referred to as the converted outhouse, which has a bunch of the older tools. So, not for nothing, but if you're looking for a common tool, there's a 1 in 4 chance that you won't be able to find it easily.
I think honestly, I think I can increase my odds.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a chair in there where it looks like someone would? That would be where, like a break area. They would go there in this workshop and they would just go sit in the chair.
Yeah.
Okay. Go to the chair. Sit in the chair. What can I reach? Because that's where it is.
I like his thoughts here.
Dazzling logic.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this little tip, this works for the deceased as well. If you are attempting to track something down, go to their favorite chair. What can they see and reach from their favorite chair?
Wow, I hate to think what that says about me right now. Ooh.
The dead, Jake? The dead? I thought you didn't believe in such things.
Yeah, I believe in dead people. It happens, and when you have to go and clear out the estate, and
Gotcha.
you can't find the key to whatever.
Sit in their chair.
Go sit in their chair. What can they reach? And startlingly, the little table that has all those books in the to be read pile next to the chair will frequently have a drawer that also contains the key, the ring they forgot where they put there, the remotes, some leftover change, an old receipt. There's a lot of things that go there, but a significant amount of the time you will find what's missing.
Good to know.
Cool.
That's a good life hack.
I wasn't expecting to learn tonight. Okay.
The things that you discover while you're down there, if you are looking to craft weapons or ammunition, there seem to be areas that contain the supplies necessary for it. There are a good number of random electronics, seem to be dumpster dive collections of old computers and monitors. A lot of these have been stripped and their parts are kind of laying around. There are some along the western wall of the exhibit area. Let me bring this up real quick, just so everybody has a frame of reference. No? Oh, okay.
There it is.
Well, the western wall of the exhibit area, there are a number of appliance-sized shapes under tarps. So it kind of looks like a 1950s B-movie scientist lab, or they could be a bunch of washer-dryer units from the 1970s, unless you want to start looking through them. It looks like when they're deployed, they come out into the larger exhibit area, but when they're not in use, they're covered up and pushed off to the side, and it's an open area. You do see on the floor there are patches of dark stains that could be oil, could be other fluids, and there are gouges. There are sharp indentations in the floor, some of which have been patched poorly with plaster or concrete, but others look kind of like fossilized claw marks. The garage is in pristine shape. Whoever runs the garage keeps it spick and span.
It's gotta be Duke.
And The shop supply door says RG no entry.
Definitely do.
So the restroom and shower area is also that clearly is Duke's domain as well. So he keeps that area. It's like an emergency shower. It looks like because it's definitely not a luxury place. It almost has one of the showers is just a big emergency bag that you pull the plunger and it just dumps on. And on the wall outside, there's a gangway down slightly on the west-hand wall. The stairs that go up and lead to the restroom. The entire wall at that little alcove there is covered in emergency procedures. What to do for chemical burns, poison, stabbings. Yes.
I've never treated a chainsaw wound to the head before, but what the hell? Hand me the iodine.
And first aid stations are, you see on the map where there are little boxes with X's in them. Those are emergency stations with first aid and other supplies. So
The fact
they're
that the
prepared for something.
GM is pointing out where the first aid stations are. This does not bode well.
It does not.
Is there anywhere in the first aid stations where they have first aid to go for while we're hiking around
Good
to
thought.
carry with?
Not here, but you do notice it in the other supply areas upstairs for your outbound excursions, and the van also has a couple of go packs. Speaking of which, anybody who has a psychic inclination, a psychic sensitive ability, feels a disturbance in the force in front of the van at the gateway, the retractable gate in front of the van that leads to a tunnel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of psychic mojo behind that door. Some of it is evil, so Marcane definitely senses something in the distance beyond that door.
Can I sense the Chin-Chi as a living vitality? Is it anything living or is it all dead?
Both, actually. There is sentient death behind that door.
Distantly.
Don't use
Distantly
the door.
beyond the door.
Got it.
And it's it's unusual for those of you who have this ability. It's kind of a you detect it, you feel it, you take it in. But in this case, it's almost a two-way communication. The things that you detect you.
Yuck.
You're not quite sure, but the more you reach out, the more things look back. And that is also something that's true of when you walk outside. So
Creepy.
keep that in mind as you're observing your environment out there.
And that door is facing
East.
towards the bridge and towards the main entrance exit out of the estate.
Jimmy, you want to weigh in on this? As the only person who has taken the drive in?
Basically, in that the doorway functions the same way as the bridge that we crossed over to get here.
Yikes.
Like
Okay.
when we first got here, when I drove off with RJ away from the house and wound up beneath you guys, yeah, same thing.
Gotcha. Marcane backs away from the door. Had a bad experience with that bridge. Okay.
All right.
Good to know.
So, while you guys are down here, is there anything else you want to explore, do, ask?
What's the equipment under the tarps? Just a quick peek.
Looks like
Drill presses.
one's a fetal incubator.
Yeah.
One is a centrifuge with basically 20 slots for blood vials or substance vials, a microwave, and what looks like a gutted snack machine.
Definitely did not come from the local
What?
home improvement catalog.
Freaky ass Frankenstein shit is this? Oh my God! A fetal incubator?
Mark,
What the hell?
after everything thus far, this is what surprises you?
It's
Why is the snack machine empty? Come on.
The
The
snack machine
hotel
is
didn't have
empty.
snacks. The hotel had no snacks. The house doesn't have snacks.
What the hell?
Obviously, we need to talk to Art.
So let me just, as we're looking at this equipment, something sort of rang a bell for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any refrigeration of any form here?
It looks as though they were trying to convert the old snack machine into a refrigeration unit.
Okay.
You only know
So-
this because elements of a refrigerator have been dumped inside the guts of the vending machine.
So
All you need, right? Just toss it in there.
for future reference, the whole microwave thing might seem out of place, but that was actually its original use was for reanimation of frozen hamsters. And I'm not lying, you can look that up. It was a government project back in the 50s. And they didn't think to commercialize it until Raytheon got a hold of it and made it for commercial kitchens. So it does not surprise me at all that these things are here together.
Is this an in-character or out-of-character reference, Eric?
Yes,
20 experience points.
thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, just a quick question. What the fuck?
No, for real.
Oh no, I believe it. It's just. What?
Okay. I will add that there's more equipment up in the raised office. There's it looks like a filing cabinets and a computer that's dedicated to the exhibit area. If someone wants to check that out at some point, it is on. But I do want to move us on to Colin, who has been patiently waiting with the Alexandria Library
The
of
info
data
dump.
dump.
Yes.
You don't want to know more about how cryogenics doesn't scale up beyond small rodent-sized creatures?
Save
At
that
this
for pillow
point-
talk, baby.
Yeah,
All right.
really.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's obvious. It looks like this place has been lived in for quite some time. Like, the foundation is very, very old, and things have been built into it over several decades. Some modern stainless steel, and others look like it may be the 50s or 60s it was added.
Okay, Marcane is going to do an object read and or a clairvoyance on the claw marks on the floor.
Ooh, okay.
Where they were dragging the equipment around.
Sure it is.
It is.
That's why the GM's turning pages frantically and tittering.
This room is so full of latent residual psychic and physical memory that it's almost alive. Things have lived and died here over decades in this exhibit space. Not all of it, in fact, most of it is not human.
Don't want to know. Not looking, just this. Just this.
You reanimate small animals, and
Jake? Go stand on the other side of the room, please.
Your feeling leads you to look up, and in the ceiling are places where big chains have been tied to rafters.
do they have hooks?
Yes.
Oh, are those chains removable? Because I was looking for some.
Oh, you found one. You already found one in the
Oh,
shit
that's
shack.
right. That's right.
You can never have too many chains, though.
Guys, these are
Especially
like
if they're longer ones. 'Cause I can purify them.
They're a little heavy.
these are like boat chains, right?
Like an anchor chain.
Anchor chains.
No.
Okay, those are kind of big. Never mind.
No. Let's see here.
Damn, May.
Well, I won't do that. I won't share with that now. So we're good. No other
What?
questions in the basement.
Is
What
that
what
air?
made the claw marks?
It doesn't. There's so much interference. There's so many different things that you detect in that spot that no one creature or thing materializes in your mind.
Okay.
When you said that was alive enough, do we have to worry about like the aliveness moving around in the house from that area? Like, do we need to be worried about purifying that area?
I think purifying would be a good idea, but I don't think it's an immediate concern. This place has been seeped in this stuff for centuries, but it could probably use a good scrubbing, especially from you.
A good point. And between Marcane and May, the two of you detect when you came down into this level, you passed through a psychic membrane.
Yeah.
So you both are very confident in the fact that if it's down here, it's not going to get out. So that it feels a lot like the barrier around the property.
So leaving this place would be a lovely thing. Let's do, shall we?
Unless it wants to get the van, in which case you're kind of fucked. But
Bring the van around front. We'll meet you out there. And while we go up the stairs, Colin can tell us all the information he got.
hey guys, can you all come up to the 3rd floor? We want to have a conference and get some tests on the camera. We want to see you guys together as a group for the promo. So if y'all could gather up and get on the sofa and just relax and look like you're just the coolest investigators, that would be great. Thanks. 5 minutes, everybody. 5 minutes. Is that good? Thanks.
Is this Jarvis
That's
or RG?
Jarvis.
RG would no, that's not RG. That's Jarvis.
Fine.
Except his real name, which I can't remember at the moment.
I know. Marcane started calling him Jarvis, and it's like...
I'm totally good with calling him Jarvis. I'll never remember anything else.
I'm cool with calling him Jarvis.
I don't think he cares. So, yeah. He's not going to correct you.
He knows who we're talking to.
Kevin. How can I fucking forget Kevin?
Yeah,
How
no,
could you
Jarvis
forget
is
Kevin?
cooler.
Effing Kevin.
We want to make sure, and sorry, Marcane, but we're going to put the primary camera on Colin for right now because we think he's going to make this scene. So if you want to have the dramatic reaction shots, Marcane, we think that would add value to the scene. Okay,
That's
everybody.
fine.
We have some hors d'oeuvres up and ready to go. Just bring them out in the kitchen area. It'll just be a social.
Or stewards. Those are my favorites.
Not going to ask who made the hors d'oeuvres. I'll just go and get them and lay them out. That'll be fine. That'll be
Where we
fine.
had hors d'oeuvres.
Bobby
Yeah.
Clay.
We didn't before,
What?
but we do now.
The other house assistant, Torgo, brought them up.
Or go.
Where the hell is Torgo?
Wait, what?
You don't know who Torgo is? Hold. I am a failure as a parent.
Wow.
We're coming up here and we're watching that Mystery Science Theater episode.
We'll pull out the hors d'oeuvres and we'll all arrange ourselves around the sofas looking stylish, awesome, and supernaturally competent.
Anybody else want to take any action before we get there? We good?
Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
straight to the hors d'oeuvres.
I guess I'm with Jake on this one. I'm hungry. Bobby Clay would definitely be affiliated with the undead. You know, whatever.
Yep.
When you get to the 3rd floor, the lighting is darker, more somber. There's definitely there are spots of light that cast across the room, deep shadows in other places. And they definitely set the mood for this scene. So
Nice. Nice.
I'll try not to screw it up.
You'll do fine. Just deep breaths and imagine everybody's in their underwear.
I do that anyway.
I knew I liked you.
they put your book on a lectern so you can
Whoa!
show the book to people, and it looks very dramatic.
In a Casio.
So, Colin, would you like to begin the conversation?
So many things. So many things have come up in the short amount of time that we've been in Crackerbox Palace. A few things that everyone's going to really want to take in before we go running out to Kaleidoscope or small towns with strange denizens. First and foremost, the pandemic is not exactly as it seems. I have some sources who have led me to believe that the assimilative immunonecrosis is really what the pandemic is.
In English?
Zombie guys walking. Remember the guys from the hotel who were having a snack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
Those guys.
That's the pandemic?
That's what the pandemic is looking like.
We're in a zombie apocalypse? Oh my God, I'm not dressed for this.
The COVID variant is kind of just an extra piece that's there for fun. Possible natural variant growth.
Arcane takes May's hand.
I'd have to heal you again now.
just anxiety. Just give me a little chi. Give me a little chi.
Oh yeah, there are consequences to that. Oh
Yeah, you just got a sickness. I'm going to actually.
I'm anxious. Let me hurt myself real quick. Is not the line we were going for.
I'm going to do the healing touch on Marcane.
She don't. That's right. She's got to think about not touching her. God, I forgot. It's been a month.
So you gave him gout and then cured him? Is that?
Yep, I gave him malignant mismal disease.
It's the whole keep your hands to yourself thing.
Sorry. That won't happen again. Trust me. What was that? Oh my God, I'm hot. Oh.
So yeah.
Sorry. Go on.
Continuing on. There's a few other things. First and foremost, someone earlier mentioned in the basement. They mentioned clowns. The clowns have. It's kind of a cult. They've been around, I don't know, centuries. Few dozen centuries. Yeah. Did you ever read Gilgamesh?
In high school.
Yeah. It kind of.
They were in Gilgamesh?
It kind of talks about the painted priests in Ishtar. They kind of support Ishtar. They're Ishtarites. Is that a thing? Ishtarites? We'll go with Ishtarites.
Sure.
So yeah, she got kind of upset at Gilgamesh for not really digging her. So she made some threats about shattering the locks to the gates of Hades, opening up some barriers and portals and letting.
And that's what the clowns are all about? They want to open the gates of hell?
Yeah, somewhat guardians of some things that could be considered the lights of Taurus or maybe the heavenly bull.
This is the most casual explanation of the end of the world that I have ever heard.
Hey, we're trying to keep things light. Arcane's having anxiety right now. We're trying to keep it light for him.
Okay. All right. So Clownanon is a 1,000-year-old cult hell-bent on opening the gates of the dead and or hell.
Well, they may be charged with starting things off.
Right, okay.
We need a little bit more information on that piece. But some of the information that I found in that nice tome, see, big tome,
lovely.
It gives the impression that they may not really even know what they're supposed to be doing with what they're responsible for anymore, because it's been so long and nothing's ever been done. So one of the things that Ishtar talked about was letting the dead pass through Pastor's Veil. Anybody remember that term?
Yes,
You
that's
heard
what
that
Lindsay
from,
said. Yeah.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Pastor is a name that's related to a literary work, you might have heard of it, The King in Yellow. The play that must not be watched or you go a little bonkers.
The Ring before The Ring was The Ring. Yes, I got it.
Yeah, it's the written word of The Ring. So there's some thought that the king in yellow, it's discussing his vestments and the tattered remnants of his vestments. They may have been a corrupted translation, which means it could either be yellow or green, and Haster's Vale may really be the Green Valley. A lot of speculation. Haster is the controller of the Green Valley. He's the guy who opens the door to let things through.
The Green Valley's the great beyond, the happy hunting grounds.
Sure. That's
Can
one of the
I read it
interpretations.
through my one spell, the enter exit, the Temeg Tien, Caverns of Yin?
Ooh. Well, I would say maybe. And the only reason I'm giving you a maybe is based on the level of detail that Colin is providing, the uncertainty of what exactly you're looking at. So, you may consult with the source material that Colin has, and it's definitely a possibility. A good idea? Well, I will let you research that and decide if that's a good thing for your psyche. So,
A good thing for your psyche. Well, she doesn't have a soul
taste
right now.
buds.
Yeah, I'm good with that on that count.
Last
So yeah, I
thing,
could look it up after you're done.
sure. I'll shoot you that information.
Feel free to collaborate, guys. It's
Absolutely.
You all are specialists. And
Finally, we have the slow glass, Jake's spooky windows. Research is showing that it's been around for a very, very long time. It's pretty, and Jake, you may not 100% agree with this, but the spirit world types who like to dabble in the occult and things of that nature find working versions, visible versions of slow glass, things that are actually showing images, very appealing, and they will pay high dollar for them. Very hard to get a hold of this stuff. The ones we got down in the bedrooms here, I don't even know how they got such large panes of this stuff. In
They were
every
there
single
when they
room.
were made. Please, look at this place. They're the original owners.
That very well could be the case. Typically, when slow glass is used to record a scene, it has to be sealed up with some kind of pitchy tar type substance to block the input. Think of it kind of like a camera lens. You also want to cover that up because if you stare at it while it's moving, you're going to go bonkers. It can make you crazy. As if enough of the things that we're already dealing with aren't enough to make us crazy. The one thing that I've posited, though, from all this research is that if we can get Jarvis or Kevin or whoever to get us some pieces of slow glass that aren't sealed or are ready to be used to capture images, we may be able to trap ghosts within the slow glass.
Kevin, is that a doable thing?
there's a delay.
Processing.
That's a tall order. I'm gonna have to check with my higher up on that. I'm not really familiar with it. I know it really looks cool. Adds a sense of immediacy and class to your bunk rooms. Kind of makes up for not having a real window. So that's kind of not in my wheelhouse, but I'll check upstairs and get back to you. Okay?
Thank you. You're an
Of course, absolutely.
What else you got for us, Colin?
Well, going back just real quickly to the whole Haster King in Yellow time space portal, sounds kind of like that bridge out yonder. Go through, come out somewhere else. Yeah. Not saying that the bridge is really more than what it is right now. but that we may have other portals that we'll be running into in the area.
Like our garage door.
Like in the garage, exactly.
Well, yeah, the garage door. The what's a who's a ding or what you call it? The fireman pole. Dropping you through the basement. We got a few of those rolling around here, so something larger that might allow things to come through. Yeah, we want to keep an eye out for that. Last piece I have, though, happens to be something I found on the recent Harper's Depot population map. It's kind of a camp now.
Now that's the village on the outside beyond the Cracker Box Palace, right?
Yeah, it's the overgrown village.
Okay.
Checking out the map, I found quite a few what kind of look like markers on the map, and I've shared that with everybody. I've kind of circled it all and numbered them so that we can keep track of which one's which. I think we probably are going to want to go check those areas out, because there may be something important in those areas in figuring out what's going on with Nell and
Boye.
Thank you, Boye. And anything else we have going on in this, because, well, let's face it, any leads we can jump on, I think we should.
Well, Lindsay's out of it, and clearly we need to do something to get her back into it. And if going down to Harper's Depot will get us closer to doing it, I say we do it.
Did you say that this map for Harper's Depot is listed as a camp?
It is looking that way. I'm trying to open this up here a little bit bigger.
Well, you were saying that it was like the Union soldiers burned it to the ground back in the day?
The original Harper's Depot was burned to the ground. Yeah.
Right. Union soldiers burning a village to the ground for no reason whatsoever.
I can't imagine why they would do such a thing other than maybe Spooktown.
And then, what, in the 90s or 80s, somebody decided to make it a camp?
Well, yeah. It was the 80s.
Sure. Like you do.
Like you do.
Like you do.
Never seen a summer camp with its own morgue before. What the hell?
Well, it's Lake Carcochi or C. Carcochi. Which
Carcass.
I understand is translating to Crystal Lake.
Oh.
That has no evil connotations whatsoever.
Piss off.
We are so fucked.
I went to a Boy Scout camp when I was a kid that was actually on Crystal Lake. They filmed one of the movies there.
You know what? Don't worry. The real Crystal Lake is in New Jersey, so you guys should be good.
Nothing bad ever happens in New Jersey.
Hey,
I will
drive
just
through the bridge and you're in New Jersey.
I will point out that the map that Dave is referring to is a Google map from the last couple of years. So there are some significant differences in what you're seeing out your window and what Google is showing you. All of this is overgrown green, except for what looks like it's Sheet's Speed and Feed. It's kind of just a stopover gas station, and the park has been closed, so it's almost completely over. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I got an emergency.
Okay, go.
Discuss amongst yourselves.
Go.
Sure.
Quick break moment.
There you go.
So, Colin, these places that you marked, what was it about them that made them jump out at you?
Well, if you look, you can't really see too well. I don't know if I can share my screen. Can I share a screen? I can share a screen.
Maybe not with Jay's screen.
Everyone should have the ability to share their screen.
Let me see if I can share this one.
Jay is not.
Multiple participants can share.
Can you see that?
No, Jay needs to unshare his screen.
You can switch to his screen
Can
up
you?
at the top.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'm viewing Dave's screen.
Oh, and I am too now. Awesome.
Ooh. So I'll try to zoom in a little bit here. So you might see there's these little tiny red notations here in the weeds.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Oh.
sorry, I hate to interrupt. A friend of ours just passed away.
Oh.
I don't know some of you who are in fandom. If you knew Don Sakers from PhilCon or Balticon, Don was he just passed suddenly. So he was a friend of Pam and mine. So you'll have to excuse me. I'm gonna cancel the game for the rest of the night. If you guys want to stay on and continue to talk, that's fine. But I gotta go, guys. I'm
We
sorry.
understand
Okay,
completely.
understand.
Understand
Yeah, no,
completely.
absolutely.
Go, Jay. Yeah, I think we'll call that good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a clear initiative, a clear intent. Pick it up, and we'll go down to Harper's Depot and start working our way through the red glitchy places and see what horrors. I mean, information await us. there.
Yeah.
Horrors, information, 6 in one hand, half dozen in another.
It's all good. It's all good.
We
Is
all-
someone gonna tell Tracy?
I'll let her know. Actually, does anybody know her better than I do? I don't. I think we all know.
Oh,
I'll get
so one quick thing, Shelby, did you tell everyone?
No, but are we still live?
We are still live. I will be ending this